Hey gang, I'm Fahaam, your financial freedom guru. Let's turn your dreams into billionaire success stories. Today, let's dive into the powerful and often misunderstood world of Charles Koch, a man who went from being an engineer with a legacy to uphold, to becoming one of the most influential billionaires in the world. His name might not trend like Musk or Bezos, but make no mistake, Koch's impact on industry, economics, politics, and freedom is unmatched. This isn't just a biography. This is the journey of a man who quietly built an empire worth hundreds of billions by sticking to principles so strong they bent industries around him. Charles Koch was born in Wichita, Kansas, in 1935. That's right, small-town Kansas, not Silicon Valley, not Wall Street. He was raised by a strict but visionary father, Fred Koch, a chemical engineer who built a business that would later evolve into Koch Industries. Fred didn't just teach his son how to fix things. He taught him how to build, innovate, and most importantly, think independently. From a young age, Charles wasn't just expected to play outside, he was expected to understand the world and solve problems in it. That upbringing planted the seed for everything he became later. After earning 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree from MIT in engineering, Charles had options. He could have chosen the easy path, coast on his father's success, live the comfortable life of a legacy heir. But no, Charles Koch chose the hard route. He took over the family business and transformed it from a modest oil and gas company into the second largest privately held company in the United States. Let that sink in. From $20 million in value when he took over, Koch Industries is now worth over $100 billion. And it's not just oil. Under Charles Koch's leadership, the company expanded into refining, chemicals, ranching, paper products, polymers, finance, and even electronics. He doesn't believe in sticking to one thing, he believes in innovation and transformation. But what makes Koch different from so many billionaires isn't just what he owns, it's how he thinks. Charles Koch is a firm believer in what he calls market-based management, or MBM. Now listen close, because this is the heart of what made him successful. MBM isn't some corporate buzzword. It's a full framework based on the idea that free market principles should govern not just the economy, but also internal decision-making within a company. It's about responsibility, merit, value creation, and empowering people to think like entrepreneurs inside a company. In other words, he didn't just build a company, he built a culture. And that culture empowered people to act like owners, not just employees. That mindset shift made Koch Industries into a machine of constant innovation. Charles Koch didn't care about being in the spotlight. He cared about impact. And to truly understand him, you have to understand that his ultimate aim was never just to be rich. His goal was freedom. Freedom to think. Freedom to build. Freedom to operate without government overreach or ideological shackles. That's why he spent millions funding think tanks, universities, and policy institutions. Some people criticize this, calling it political influence. But Koch sees it as investing in ideas that defend individual liberty and open competition. Whether you agree with his politics or not, you can't deny one thing: this man has stayed consistent. In a world full of noise, Charles Koch is the guy who stuck to his beliefs, built an empire quietly, and stayed true to his economic philosophy. But let's talk about the hustle. Charles Koch didn't make his billions by gambling or striking gold once. He built wealth the hard way. He reinvested profits. He kept his company private so he could stay nimble. He avoided hype and chased value. In fact, Koch Industries is legendary for passing on flashy opportunities and focusing instead on long-term value. That's a lesson for every entrepreneur watching this. Success isn't about trending, it's about compounding. Charles Koch is living proof that if you reinvest, adapt, stay lean, and prioritize principles over popularity, you will win. Not overnight, but permanently. Now let's get real. Charles Koch also faced controversies. A man worth over $60 billion doesn't get there without drawing fire. He's been blamed for everything from climate issues to political polarization. And while not all of it is fair, Koch never ran from it. He leaned into the criticism and often responded with facts, data, and, most importantly, action. In recent years, he's even shifted focus towards unity, launching initiatives to bridge political divides, tackle criminal justice reform, and improve education. For someone painted as cold and corporate, Charles Koch has invested heavily in human freedom and opportunity. Now imagine this: what if Charles Koch had stopped? What if he had taken his inheritance and just retired early? We wouldn't have Georgia Pacific, Flint Hills Resources, Molex, or Invista. We wouldn't have the jobs he created, over 120,000 of them. We wouldn't have the scholarships, research grants, and foundations he built. One man, one vision. That's the power of building with purpose. And that's what I want you to take away. Whether you agree with him or not, Charles Koch shows us what happens when you combine engineering logic with philosophical commitment. When you stop chasing likes and start chasing legacy. When you run your business like a scientist but lead your life like a philosopher. That's how you make billions. That's how you make history. For those wondering how to replicate this in your own journey, here's the secret. Charles Koch didn't follow trends. He read books others ignored. He studied economics and human behavior. He treated every employee like a potential leader. He took big bets, but only after deep, principled analysis. He played the long game in a world addicted to short-term gratification. He believed that success comes when value is created, not when noise is made. And above all, he believed that empowering others is the ultimate multiplier of wealth. Today, Charles Koch is not just a billionaire. He's a builder of systems. An advocate of freedom. A master of scaling. A silent architect behind some of the most impactful institutions in the modern world. He's 89 years old and still shaping the future. Still writing books. Still investing in young thinkers. That's not retirement. That's legacy on full throttle. So, what's your takeaway from the life of Charles Koch? If you think it's just about money, you miss the point. His success isn't measured in billions, it's measured in values applied. In systems built. In lives impacted. In ideas that outlive their creator. You don't need to be a Koch to follow the Koch mindset. Build with discipline. Think with independence. Act with integrity. And never stop learning. That's how billionaires are made, not on social media, but in silence, with strategy. So if you're watching this today wondering where to begin, start with your mindset. Ask yourself, are you playing for popularity or permanence? Are you chasing cash or building culture? Are you focused on attention or value? Charles Koch made that decision early, and the world bent in his favor. Maybe it's your turn next. This is Fahaam, your guide on the journey to financial freedom. If you got value from this, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment the word legacy down below so I know you're serious about building wealth that lasts longer than your lifetime. Remember, success isn't built on luck. It's built on purpose, patience, and principles. I'll see you in the next one.